So you're JMJ's son. What was it like growing up in the family of JMJ, being how important Run DMC is?
It was cool, man. My family kept it very normal. Like my dad kept it very normal. Mom kept it very normal as well. They just wanted us to live like a normal life. So we went to school like everybody else did normal things. The only thing that was different was when like my father would come and pick us up from school, and just the reaction that we would get from other parents or other kids or in the mall or amusement parks and stuff like that. That's when I kind of realized that life was a little bit different for us, but they did a great job of keeping everything cool and normal.
So like, what were some of the things that would happen when you'd be out with your dad?
Like we'd be out and somebody would run up and have them sign their Adidas sneaker, or like be like, "Yo, King of Rock changed my life," or "Tougher Than Leather changed my life," or "That was the first album I ever bought," And hearing that stuff was like, I was still super young at the time. He passed when I was 11, so this is all happening prior to that. So as a young kid, I was kind of soaking it up. But as I get older and as I've gotten older, like it's become so much more real to me, and I've actually been able to really, really get to kind of like just soak in the impact that JMJ and Run DMC had on everything.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm a big Run DMC fan. I actually, Run DMC's first album, the black and white cover,
Yeah.
was, I believe, the first hip hop album that I ever bought. Like I'd had some singles from like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and stuff like that, but that was the first actual album that I bought.
That's
It
dope.
definitely made a big impact.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
No, absolutely.
That's how it goes.
Now you were 11 years old when your dad got killed.
Yeah.
What happened during the moment when you were told what happened?
So we were actually on our way to Virginia because my grandmother lived in Virginia at the time, and me and my mom and Jesse and my great grandmother were on our way to Virginia to celebrate Halloween out there. And so my mom got the call as we're on the turnpike. We pretty much U-turned on the turnpike, like literally just about faced, drove back to the city. And she didn't really tell me what was going on. She didn't really know exactly, it's like, it's got to be a very shocking moment at the time, like to kind of take that in. So, and I was really young at the time too, so I'm sure it's impossible to like be able to tell me what's possibly going on. So, we kind of just went back home. She dropped us off. She went to the scene, and I found out because I turned on the TV and it was on the news, like immediately. Yeah. That's kind of how I found out. I saw my mom on there and everything. So it's a pretty surreal moment for all of us, like I didn't really know how to take it in. But my mom's super strong. My family is incredibly strong, so we just got through it and it's we are where we are today.
So you actually didn't know what was happening. You turned on the TV and you see your dad on TV with the news that he had been murdered.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty hard, even 11 years old.
Yeah, it was tough, but like I said, very strong family, so we were able to get through it.
What happened right after, you found out about the murder? Because there still is not a lot of information right now, but at the time, no one knew what happened. Were you guys in fear for your lives and that type of thing?
Nah, we weren't scared for our lives or anything. We just didn't get those vibes from the situation, and my mom is like, she's got the instinct of a superwoman, so like she knew that we were safe. We had surveillance, of course, like at our house, but we ended up moving to Virginia about a year after it happened. So we finished out our school year in New York and then moved to Virginia the following year.
So what do you mean you had surveillance at your house?
Oh, we would just have like cops like hanging out outside, just security at all times. Just because, of course, it wasn't really for anything negative, But there would be people coming to the house to send their condolences, to give flowers, just respecting JMJ. So just with that and people having our public record of being where we lived, we just needed the security to be there. But it wasn't for anything negative. Like we weren't in fear of anything really.
Okay. So now that when you look at the situation, this happened what year again?
This happened in 2002.
2002. You fast forward 14 years to 2016, the murder is still unsolved.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel as a son that whoever did this didn't get brought to justice and didn't have to pay for what they did?
It's tough at times, you know, because there are plenty of situations where they go gung ho, and they, as I mean, just like our police force and just justice in general, they'll go gung ho for something that is very minuscule in comparison to somebody losing their lives, you know. And when somebody loses their lives, it's just like whatever. It's black on black crime. Like we don't really care about it, you know. So looking back on it now, it's pretty tough to know that nothing like justice really hasn't been served, and people don't want to talk and that type of thing. But at the same time, like we kind of just got to leave it up to God, you know, and just kind of let that be handled the way it's supposed to be handled. You know, it's like it's really not in our hands anymore to kind of figure out what's going to happen with that.
Well, you've said in your Breakfast Club interview that people know what happened.
Yeah, I feel like people definitely do know what happened. You know, I feel like there was only a few amount of people in that studio at the time, and they were all close friends of his, supposedly, you know, and yeah, there's no way that somebody can, the way that the police report is written, there's no way that people can walk into that room, people can be led up into that room, and the action, and what happened to have happened, and nobody know what happened, you know. So it's like, of course people know what the deal is, or know something, and they just don't want to talk, you know.
So the exact situation, from what you understand it, explain it to me.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So the people that were in the room, did you ever talk to any of these people yourself?
Beforehand, but never after.
Why not never after?
Just a lot of things changed after my pops passed. You know, like we just didn't have a communication with a lot of people after that. So he was, or the people in that room were definitely ones that we just didn't really communicate with after, for reasons that, of course, like we don't trust them. Like, how could you be in a room when my father was shot and killed, but you don't even, like, you know nothing, you know? So, yeah.
You never feel the need to go and try to confront some of these people, or at least have, not even confront them, but even have a conversation with them about it?
I was so young when it happened, you know? So there was a long period of time where it was like a lot of growing. I needed to do a lot of growing. I need to do a lot of soaking in. And it's coming up to the point where it's like, yeah, I am old enough to have conversations with these people, but do I want to bring up, do I want to, like, I feel like that's a lot of negative energy, you know, and I'm a very positive person. I block out a lot of negative energy all the time, you know. That energy doesn't even like come around like our crew of people, just because that's not how we are. So I feel like going and confronting people about something that's happened, it's just like, it's not, I don't even really feel like it's my place, you know? Like, I feel like God's handling that the way he's got to handle it.
Do you think you know who did it?
I don't. Honestly, it's like there's hearsay of this, there's hearsay of that, but I really have no clue, you know? And yeah.
That's frustrating, because, you know, I mean, a lot of the major crimes, the hip hop crimes that have happened, like, you know, Tupac and Biggie, like, I've talked to people that were kind of close to the situation, and they've told me certain things that essentially was common knowledge in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Of you know, like, of where it happened. So it must definitely be upsetting to not even have that type of story to even know.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird, but I mean, we just kind of do our thing to keep the positive awareness alive, you know? Just like, that's really my goal. That's my brother's goal. We're just here to kind of just make sure that everything around JMJ stays positive, you know, regardless of the past and like what's happened. Yeah.
Have you ever talked to 50 Cent?
Oh yeah, definitely. We did an event with him a few months back. It was a charity event, and it was actually for the JMJ Foundation for Music. And we were out there just with some kids out at Summer Stars Camp in Connecticut, or actually it was Boston, yeah, Massachusetts. Yeah, so I got to hang out with him. He told us about his relationship with my pops and stuff. It was cool.
Well, JMJ was the one who discovered 50 Cent.
Yeah, yep.
And gave
Legendary.
Got him his first record deal.
Yeah.
With Columbia Records, I believe.
Yep.
So from your point of view, what was the relationship, you know, between 50 and JMJ, you know, based on what he told you?
Yeah, it was dope. It was just like they were, they linked at a club or something. My dad passed him in the car. He was like, "Oh shit, that's JMJ." So we reached out to him like, "Yo," they got in the club. They're talking, and he said that he wasn't even really like 50 was like just beginning to rap, you know. So my father was teaching him about bar structure and like how to write hooks and just counting on beat and stuff. So pretty much just taught him how to make music. And my father saw the talent in him and was like, "Yo, this guy's gonna be great." And yeah, they went to work together, which is dope. 50 Cent.
Yeah, I mean, he went on to become a superstar.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how Jay was the first person to see it. And I remember reading some of the early interviews with 50, and 50 wasn't even a rapper at the time.
Yeah.
He just looked like a rapper based on the car he drove and the jewelry he had on. And I guess Jay approached him and was like, "Yo, like, do you rap?" And 50 was like, "Nah, but
Yeah.
I'll fuck with it," you know. And Jay actually groomed him.
Yeah.
Is that the story you pretty much heard?
Yeah, that's what he told me. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. When you look online, some of the stories that have come out, there was supposed to be a tying in between your dad's murder and Supreme and 50 Cent and some of the situations that happened around that. I mean, I'm sure you looked into that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I did my research. But that's all hearsay. You know, it's like there's no prime evidence or, you know, that's not like real. So I can't really put any energy into that until it's actually factual, you know. It's just not the energy that I want to put out there either. So until I get like facts, that's when I'll actually be like, okay, word, you know. But I can't see that being true.
And do you feel like the police department really hasn't put in the type of effort that they should to actually solve this?
Definitely not. You know, definitely not. I mean, like I said, at the time I was very young when it all happened, so I couldn't really understand. But looking back and kind of doing research again, it's like I don't feel like enough was done at all.
Well, when it comes to murder, there's no statute of limitations.
Yeah.
So something that happened 20, 30, 100 years ago could still be prosecuted.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to talk to the police or campaign or do something to try to get them to reopen the case?
Nope, but that's something that we're looking into now. You know, like now that we're old enough and we can actually kind of hold on and get a reins of everything that's going on. You know, like we can actually get in control, and we've actually got say, and we've got like some type of voice. I feel like we could actually get something done now.
Absolutely. Now after the passing happened, how much did the hip hop community really come to really support you guys and help you guys out?
And a great deal, you know. I remember the funeral was incredibly beautiful. You know, like the wake was incredibly beautiful. Saw a lot of faces there, a lot of familiar faces, you know. And it just showed like how much he was actually respected and like what type of impact he had, you know. And it was dope. It was dope.
I understand that mindset because I like have that, like, because you don't believe in somebody so much, you just joke on them. Like, I'm gonna joke on you. I don't believe you. So I understand it, but you know, I want hip hop, period, like, to stop the shenanigans with that type of shit. Like, yo, motherfucker, rap, go rap.
My monthly overhead for my household and household employees was somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million a month I was spending.